Okay, so here is part 2 for differentiation and integration using the calculator or calculator tricks. I've got 2 questions lined up. One is just finding a tangent at a certain point, and then the second one is finding an integral. I'm going to use my calculator for the majority of this. So to find the tangent to y equals 2x squared plus x minus 6 at the point x is 4. Firstly, I've drawn this in the previous one. I'm just going to draw something that looks mildly like this. So here's 2, minus 2 that is, and this is 3 over 2. So when x is 4, that's going to be somewhere down here. So it's going to be pretty steep by the time it gets up there. But I want this tangent at this point. So in order to get that tangent, I know that the gradient at that point must be the same. So in other words, what I'd normally do is I'd find the gradient, dy by dx, and then I'd set that equal to 4. So I'd basically evaluate that when x equals 4. Let's just get my rubber. Okay, so once I've done that, I'd get an answer. I'm actually going to do this purely on my calculator. So again, using the d by dx button, it's just at the top here. I need to put in this equation. I don't want to differentiate first. So I'm going to press shift and then d by dx. So basically this notation here, and I'm going to put in here 2x squared. So I'm putting in my actual equation here, plus x minus 6. And I want to evaluate that when x is 4. And it simply tells me 17. So at that point, the gradient would be 17. My next thing, to find the tangent, I know that I should follow y minus y1, sorry. Seem to keep doing that. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. So what I want to do is just substitute 17 in. Now I've got my 4, so I need to find my other value here of y. So I just put in here 4. And then I'm going to use the AND trick here. So 2 ANDs squared plus ANDs minus 6. So before I put this in, I put in the value of 4, but this will just tell me the value there. So I know when x is 4, I know that y is 30. So that's my actual coordinate there. So I'm going to do y minus y, which is 30, is equal to 17 x minus 4. So from there, I just want to rearrange. So y is equal to, I'm expanding, 17x. 17 times negative 4 is minus 68, and then I'm plusing this 30. So I've got minus 38, and that would be the tangent at that particular point. So I just used the calculator to find the gradient there. You can do it properly using actual calculus and differentiation, but the calculator will do that for you. So again, the way to do that is by using the shift and then pressing this integral button here to get this. Oh, I definitely pressed shift there to get this bit here. So d by dx, and then whatever you want to evaluate at. So if I want to do the same equation, so I'm going to guess here that that's, what is that, about minus 3/4. So if I just put in 2x squared plus x minus 6, if I evaluate that at minus 3/4, hopefully, actually, is it minus 3/4? It's not minus 3/4. I think let's try minus a half instead. Yeah, either way, we're getting down here. So I'm just trying to find the point here. Actually, we could work that out. Yeah, certainly it should be minus 1/4, I think. So I was just trying to get my turning point there. So you can see that this differential gives me 0, which tells me the turning point is minus 1/4. It's right at that bottom point of my equation here. So if I found that tangent line there, it'd be right at the bottom. So it gives me 0. Either way, that's how you do differentials. Next up, integrals. So finding the integral with respect to x. The first thing you want to do here is to sketch this just to make sure that it's all above or below. So when actually doing these, please make sure you sketch these because your calculator won't know if you're doing above or below the x-axis. Remember, if it's below the x-axis, it's going to give a negative. So I've put here between 3/2 and 2. So 3/2 is here, and let's say 2 is about here. So the area I'm looking for is just this bit here. So it's the area underneath that curve and sandwiched between my x-axis. So it's just that red section there. Usually we'd want to integrate this manually, and then we'd substitute in the upper limit minus the lower limit. Your calculator can do all of that for us. So on the calculator, let's do it manually first. So if I were to do this manually, if I integrated this, if I can actually write, just got a new PC, so it's, well, just built a new PC. So it's a bit of a pain because my tablet's not set up properly. So if I integrate this, it'll be 2/3 x cubed plus x squared over 2 minus 6x. And we want to evaluate that at 3/2 and 2. So that's going to be equal to, if I put 2 into here, I've got 8, 16/3. I'm actually just going to do it underneath here. So 16/3 plus 2 squared divided by 2 is 2, minus 12. And then take away, putting 3/2 into here. Maybe I should use my calculator for this. 27, 54, 54/24. And then plus 3/2 going into here again. That's 9/4 divided by 2 is 9/8. And then minus 6 times 3 is 18. 18/2 is 9. So something like that. And then out pop my answer. So if I just put that into my calculator here, so I've got 16/3 plus 2 minus 12. Now I want to take away 54/24. Probably simplifies for definite. 9/8. And then minus 9. So I get my final answer there is 23/24. Why won't you work? There we go. So that's what I get. Just a quick trick on using a calculator manually here. If you put in your top limit, so 2, press equals, and then program this into your calculator, so 2/3, ans cubed. Whoa. Make sure that goes on top. Plus ans squared over 2 minus 6 ans. So what I've done there is that instead of x, I've just put ans in. I've already got 2 in there. So if I press equals, that is this first bracket. And then if I now put in, so I'd note that down, minus 14/3. And now if I put in 3/2 and press equals, go back up to this, that's the other bracket. So I've effectively got minus 14/3. And I want to subtract from that my answer. It gives me 23/4, which is what we got. So that is the manual way of doing it. Now, using the calculator, let's see how much easier this is. So on your calculator to do this, you'd want to use this button here. So it's underneath menu, it's this integral sign. And you want to put in exactly what's given in your question, as long as it's all above the x-axis or below the x-axis. If it's a mixture, you need to split up into multiple integrals. So I've got 2x squared plus x minus 6, and I want to integrate that between 3/2, which I can put in as a fraction like that, and then the top limit is 2. If I press equals, there's my answer, and I didn't need to do too much, so it's a great check there. So that's using this button here, the integral. Hopefully that helps. If you need any more, just let me know.